Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thanks so much for joining me for another video. Today I'm going to be showing you what I do with my makeup every day. I have just filmed this look, so if you want to see how I do my makeup every day, then keep watching. So my face is washed and moisturised and ready to go. I'm just going to pop my hair up because it really gets in my way and I can already see these little flyaway bits. Okay, so at the moment I am using this Nude by Nature Perfecting Primer. It smells amazing. I don't know, it smells kind of like really fruity. I use probably about this much. I don't know what it is. It just smells so nice, but it just goes really nicely all over the skin and it soaks in really quickly and it doesn't feel sticky or anything. And I just like the way it feels on my skin. So, get that all over and I'm just gonna let that soak in just for a second. Okay, are we all rubbed in? If you watch my last everyday makeup routine, you will recognise this, and I'm still using it. It's the NARS Sheer Glow foundation. This is just my favourite foundation ever. I have tried the new NARS one. I do really like it, but I just prefer this one and I just cannot be without this. I usually apply it with like a stippling brush like this, but I met up with the NARS PR girls recently and they said you're actually supposed to apply it with your fingers. I think you're supposed to just be able to like get it like working into the skin a bit more. So what I'm going to do today is apply it with my fingers but then just go over it with my brush because I just like that brushed finish. So I always use 2 pumps and then I'm just gonna, I really need to get like a mirror behind the camera, so I'm basically, I feel like I'm doing this blind a little bit. This shade is Santa Fe. I do feel it is a little bit dark at the moment because I'm so pale and I haven't got any fake tan on at all. But when I've got a little bit of a tan, this is like the perfect shade, but normally I'll just like bronze up my neck anyway, so you wouldn't know. I've got a little mirror here though, I'm just going to make sure that's all blended. Actually, I say that shade's really dark, doesn't look that dark now. I think it does oxidise a little bit after a bit of time. I'm just going to put one more pump on because I kind of like the full coverage look. So I'm just going to finish that off with the brush. This is just the Clinique stippling brush. It's just a really big brush and I feel like you can really work the product in. And it's good for itches. Like, oh, I get really itch nose. Okay. Okay, that will do for foundation. I said I like a full coverage, but with this, it gives you a nice coverage, but you can still see your skin. It doesn't completely like cover everything up. I find with like Estee Lauder, the double wear, it's so thick that you literally, it's like paint. But this I like because it does give you really nice coverage, but you can still see your skin. Do you know what I mean? But then I'm going to use a concealer which basically covers everything up anyway. So, actually I'm just going to put some lip balm on. I literally cannot live without lip balm. My lips are always so dry. I think it's because I don't drink enough water. But I'm just using a little bit of the Clinique Pep Start lip balm and this is in shade Guava. I just like the pinky tone to it. Actually it's really pink. When I've done on my makeup it doesn't look this pink. Let's rub it in a little bit more. Maybe less pink. Okay, so now for concealer. I've been using the Urban Decay All Nighter. I was using the other Urban Decay concealer. What's that called? Naked, the Naked one. But recently I've had this to try and I really like it. I'm using the shade Light Warm. I've got Light Neutral as well, but that's quite pinky toned and I'm really confused. It's as if they stuck the stickers on the wrong bottles, or I'm just understanding the shades wrong, because this is a warm tone apparently, but I think this is a neutral tone, and then on the neutral bottle the colour is so pinky. but this one works for me. I'm using a damp beauty blender under my eyes. I still can't get my head around why they have to be wet. Like, why do you have to wet a sponge? I mean, isn't that gross, putting a wet sponge on your face? But honestly, I have tried it dry and it is just horrible. You have to wet it and then I really squeeze it out, and then like squeeze it out with a towel as well, so you haven't got like water dripping down your face. I always just use this as well, just to like go all over my face, make sure everything is all like blended in and stay in there all day. Next I'm going to use a bit of bronzer. So this is really exciting because this is my first ever Chanel makeup product and it is the best. I feel like it's probably, I haven't actually even tried any of the other Chanel products, but this is probably like the best thing I could have bought. I have been using this every day for at least the last, when did I buy it? A good few months, and look, I've barely used any of it. It's so good. So basically, it's got a smell as well. It smells so good. It is the Soleil Tan de Chanel. It's probably their most famous product. It's a moussey bronzer and I use it with a stippling brush like this, and it just like completely warms up the face and just gives it such a nice look. So I always just use it like so. I just put a little bit on around my cheeks, I go along my hairline and my forehead, and then I just bring it down here a little bit. When I haven't got any fake tan on, my neck is so white and then I feel like I've got this like foundation head stuck on a white neck, so I always just use a little bit on my neck. Be careful not to get it. This is not a good jumper to be doing it with, a cream jumper, but I just like to use it on my neck and that just warms it all, makes me look a little bit more browner. I'm just going to do the same on this side. This brush is, it's not as dense as the stippling brush I use for my foundation, and then I just sort of like dab it in the pot. Just find like the smallest bit goes such a long way. I think this wasn't over, like for Chanel makeup, I don't think this was overly expensive. I think it was maybe like around £35, but I just know that it's going to last for ages and I love it so much. I like used it on my mum, and she doesn't really buy like expensive makeup, and she went and bought it straight away and she loves it as well. Because I think it's like a moussey bronzer, I feel like you don't get any like harsh lines with it at all. It's just so soft and you can just really like work it in. It's a good product for everything. Okay, so now I've bronzed up a little bit, I am now going to, I don't do this every day. If I'm shooting or if I'm going out or something, I will do this. But now I just add a little bit of contour. I know I've just bronzered, but I just like to do this just to give my little hamster cheeks a bit of definition. But I have been using this one for ages. It's the Clinique Chubby Stick. This is in shade 1 Curvy Contour. Look, I've barely used any of this. There's so much still in there. Again, I love using creamy products for contour, because sometimes with a powder, if you put too much on, I feel like you can't get it off, but with a cream I feel like you can just keep rubbing it in and you will eventually get rid of it. And I'm not very good at makeup, so I need something that's good for dummies. So I just dab a little bit of this along, you can literally, I can feel my bone on there, so I literally just do it on the bone, on that side as well. I do a little bit on my forehead up here, on my chin, and then if I'm being bothered, which I will do today, I just take a little bit down the sides of my nose. But that's not even straight, so is it going to make me look like I've got a wonky nose? No, it's not. That'll be okay. Again, just to rub all that in, I'm using another stippling brush. I love the stippling brushes, don't I? I think it's because they're just so easy to use. This is a really old Real Techniques one and it's quite small, but I like the small little head so you can just get in there. Before, when I used to do my makeup, I used to feel very like one colour, but now using like the bronzer and then this and like different, trying to like actually do my makeup properly and use the products for what they're supposed to be used for, I feel like I am now adding a bit more like dimension to my face, which is what I'm supposed to do. Okay. If I've got any areas that I don't like, I'll just take my foundation brush again, because I think I've come up a bit high with the contour there. So I'll just rub that over it again, and it just sort of takes away the contour. So I always do that bit of my makeup in the same order, and then from now I just go a bit rogue. I don't know what I'm going to do now. I'm going to do my eyebrows. So I've been using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. I bought this when I was in New York, and I bought it just because I felt like I was in New York, I was in Sephora, I needed to buy some American makeup. I do really like this, but if I'm honest, it's basically exactly the same as the Benefit, is it Brow Wiz? No, Precisely My Brow. It's basically the same, and obviously it's so much easier to get Benefit products here in the UK. So it's got like a little spoolie on one end, and then the other end is just a little thin crayon. So I always just brush them up. I'm so bad at doing my eyebrows, by the way. I always just do the end bit first, then bring it along. Oh, this is shade Taupe, by the way, as well. And if you're similar colourings to me and you want this colour, it's number 2 in the Benefit pencil. Go underneath. I always keep brushing them as well when I'm doing it, so you can just really see where you're going. I find also, from like when I was younger, years and years of like, actually I never overplucked my eyebrows, but I used to go to like those places where they would just wax your top and bottom eyebrows, leave you with this tiny little line. So after years of that, I'm a bit sparse here with the hair, so sometimes I just like do really fine strokes just to add a bit back in there. Okay. I don't like to do them too neat, but I do like to get that arch in there, and then once I've got that, they're a bit straight today. I'm having a disaster. For so long I was using the Benefit Hoola bronzer for my eyeshadow, because I just loved that like matte neutral brown bronzy eye, but now I'm using the NARS Laguna bronzer for eyeshadow. Such a nice eyeshadow shade, because I don't really like to wear too like a bold eye or anything like that, but I just like something that's kind of like neutral and just, you know, I don't know, makes it look like you've got something on your eye, on your eyelid. Sound like a farmer then, on your eyelid. Get your eyelids done. This is a MAC 217 brush. It's completely wiped off, but I know that it's a MAC 217 brush because years ago I used to watch Tanya Bear's videos all the time, and this is what she used to use for her eyeshadow, and I immediately went and got one, and I've used it every day for my eyeshadow since. It is the best eyeshadow brush ever. For a brush, it probably is expensive. It's probably about £20, but honestly I've had it for about probably over 4 years, and I use it every day. So I use that just to go sort of in the crease. When I've got like the main bulk of the product, I just put it in the crease and then blend a bit on the lid, and then the same on this side as well. Then I have got another little brush. This is just a Real Techniques brush I got in one of the packs, and on the edge I'll just rub. So I just want to, like, so otherwise I don't like to have like such a harsh line. I'll just use the clean brush and just rub the edge. Okay, eyeshadow done. Now I am going to do mascara. Been absolutely loving this mascara since I've got it. It's the Claudia Schiffer Luxurious Volume Mascara. It's a big brush, and it's actually, because it's getting a bit old now, it is going a little bit gloopy. But can you see it's got so many bristles, and my eyelashes, luckily, are actually quite long, so I really love a mascara that's like gets hold of them and gives them all the volume. And this is such like an intense black shade as well. I hate wishy-washy mascaras that don't give like a really like intense black look. And you have to do the mascara face when you're doing mascara, don't you? The oh. Do you know what I mean? It instantly just is such a good mascara. Okay, mascara and the top lashes is done. I have said before, I don't put mascara on my bottom lashes because they're really long, and when I put mascara on them I feel like they just go so spidery and like really hang down, and I don't like it. Instead of using the mascara on the bottom, I'll just use like a small brush like I just used for my eyeshadow, and I just put a little bit of eyeshadow, and then I just put a little bit underneath. I don't know, gives the eye a bit of definition, because sometimes if I don't do this, my eyes, I feel like they just look so bare. But that just gives them a little something else. Recently for blusher, I have gone back to one of my favourite blushes, and that is the NARS Orgasm Blush. It is, can you just see that? Look at the shimmer, it's such a beautiful colour. It's such a gorgeous pinky corally shade, but it's got this like goldy bit of shimmer to it. It is really pigmented, you don't need a lot. So I'm literally just gonna dab my brush in once and just put a tiny bit. You don't want to put too much of this on because it is quite strong. I think that'll do it. Can you see the gold? The goldy tones in it. I love it. It's so nice. So nice. I used to use this all the time, and then kind of like don't forget about it, but you know, I try so many new products and then I re-found it again. I'm in love with it again, and this is my new favourite blush. I've been using this every day since I've got it. It just looks healthy, doesn't it? So, highlighter, I am using this. Again, it's the Nude by Nature, so it's the same brand as the primer that I used, and this is in shade Champagne, and it's called the Highlight Stick. This is, to be honest, with the blush I just used, I probably don't need it, but I just like to add it in a few other places. I really like this colour because, let me just show you on my hand, it's super like golden. I don't like the highlighters that are really like pinky and silvery. I much like the warmer golden shades, and this is exactly that. So I always just take a little bit under my eyebrow or my brow bone, down my nose, and then on the cupid's bow. I find that this, just putting a bit here just makes all the difference. Makes your lips look so much, I don't know, just makes such a difference. Bit down the nose, then along the top. And sometimes if you just want a bit more, I know I've already got quite like a bit of highlight in the blush, but I'm just going to put a tiny bit on the bone there and the bone there. I'm just going to put a bit more there as well. Love a bit of highlight. Okay, so there we go. I have finished my makeup. I need just to finish off with a little lipstick, don't I? The lipstick that I'm going for all the time at the moment it's a Clinique lipstick, and it's the shade Melon Pop. It's just a neutral, everyday colour. Okay, so that is it. That is how I do my makeup pretty much every day. Thank you so much for watching. If you've got any other video suggestions you'd like to see, leave them in the comments box below. It would mean the world if you could like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you really soon for more. Bye!